think the mic's working and everything. Let's see if some people can join. I should be live, but this should only be available for those that I posted the link to. I think I made it only available for a maximum of 10 people too. I don't even think I'll have that many, but Johnny. Johnny, can you hear me? Let me see if there's a place. Hey, Steve. What's up, brother? We got Steve. We got Johnny.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Johnny? I'm gonna see who else, if anybody else joins. I think I only have so there could be a maximum of 10 people in the stream. I have a limit too. Might not be too many other people though. Hold on. I think Steve might have had a problem with his connection. We'll wait for some other people to join too. We'll give it a couple minutes before I start.
All right, cool.
Steve, there. See, here's Jan. Hey, Jan. Glad you're here as well. Let me see if I can get. Do you guys have options to? Because I have it where it's not live on YouTube or anything like that. It's powered through StreamYard, and I'm using just YouTube as a private platform right now through it. And you guys should have a way to be able to write where it pops up on the screen too in a chat format. Let me see how that works. Like if I type hey, does it show up on this thing? Do you guys have a place where you guys can chat? Like type? You guys can hear me, right? Maybe not. Can you guys hear me? Fuck. Maybe not.
Bro, we can hear you.
Yeah, now it's all added.
Okay.
All right, now I hear you guys. Bro, we can hear you.
I can hear you, but I'm gonna be doing my rideshare work, so I can't talk because I don't want to make the customers feel like they're getting in on something.
No, it's cool. I just trying to figure out if there's a way that, because it's supposed to have where
There's a chat here.
when you guys write in the chat, it's supposed to pop up on the screen too. You know, so do you guys have like an option where you can write?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a chat icon on my mobile.
So see somebody type something, see if it pops up on the screen.
Can you see
It
what
did
I
for
wrote?
me.
Nah, no, nothing. I'm not seeing anything from anybody. That's why I'm trying to figure out like where that part is. Because I have
I did type on it.
there. Now it goes, hey, now something just popped up. So I had typed that a while ago. All right, so I don't see anybody else's typings anywhere. That's the whole thing. I don't know where those are. But that's the whole, I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know.
No, it
I
doesn't.
don't know why. I don't know where you guys are like I don't see it. Let me see if I can.
The private chat.
Yeah, no, like right now I see like myself and 4 other spots like from you guys, and it's like when I'm typing is on my right hand side of my screen. Here, I'll show you. Let me share. See, that's me. Wait. Share screen.
It would appear no one can see my writing.
Can you guys see my screen now? Like I'm sharing it?
Yes.
Yeah, see how like it only shows what I'm writing on the right hand side?
That's how mine looks.
Yeah, so I can't see what anybody else is typing. That's what I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Like
Weird.
it shows me who's in the chat, but those are the hello and hey is the things that I just was typing to see how it works. But yeah, nobody else's chats are showing up. That sucks.
No, they're not. Oh,
wait, here we go. Here we go. I got it.
Oh, I have 2 categories: private chat and comment.
Yeah, I figured it out. Nice. Okay. So now.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. Finally. Let's see.
You're on the comments. We're on the private chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can also do it where what you guys write pops up. All right. Fucking hide that shit. All right.
This is so wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I'm new to all the StreamYard and shit, so.
I've never seen it.
Me either.
Yeah, now like when you guys are type something, it's supposed to pop up too. Like it's supposed to pop up here. Like,
Can you see the private chat?
Uh-oh.
I think I have to. All right, so. Yeah, see now it's. I can see the private chat like this. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Let me see if it. Yeah, see, I don't know how it pops up. You know what? I'm not going to worry about the banners and take too much time with it. I'll figure it out another time. But it's supposed to pop up like a banner across the screen every time you guys type something, you know. But it's all good. Do I have to add anybody else? Yeah, I got to add Emily. All right, I think everybody's connected except for Johnny now. Yeah, see, it's supposed to show like a banner across the screen when you guys type something, but I don't need to. I don't really need to have that now. I'm not going to waste too much time on it. But I think I got everybody into the chat room. So all right, so we're going to share. I'm going to go back to share screen because I like that. All right, so the topic I wanted to discuss with you guys real quick. This is just an exclusive little session we're gonna do because I'm gonna do a live YouTube chat in a little while. But I'm not gonna be sharing the information that I'm sharing with you guys today. This is just private. A little while we're gonna be talking about some interesting things that have been coming to me, and certain things that I've been working with, and I wanted to share it with my patrons here. I think it would be really cool to have a private little discussion just between us. And we're gonna do this more frequently as more comes to light. And I do feel it's directly linked to working with the Torus technology I've been working with, and some of the harmonic resonance and frequencies that are associated with working with crystals and tensor tools and other sort of coils and different sorts of torus shaped instruments. And for those that aren't familiar with what a torus is, I'll show you guys some pictures here. So just in case people out there are not familiar with like certain terms like toroidal space or torus or things like that I'm talking about. For those that aren't sure exactly what I'm talking about, I'll share some pictures with you guys.
I always tell people it's the shape of the apple.
Well, I guess it's sort of like that. It's more like a pool tube, like something that you would like sit in to go into a pool, or a donut, something like that. Hold on, let me go to. I don't know why they're not like opening right here. It's telling me there's not enough memory or some shit here. The fuck does that mean? All right, so I'll get some. I have some pictures here to show from off here, just so people get an idea with a visual. I think it was. Fuck. Where were they just saved to? Hold on. They're not here. All right, well, okay, so this is like a normal torus right here, the top. You guys can see what I'm showing you? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah? All right, so this is like a normal torus. The top here would be the ring torus. This is called, the middle part is called the horn torus, or a spindle torus, like the bottom one. And basically, from what I understand, is that even the universe is a giant torus, and the toroidal space in the middle is like what we see as space, and that's like the inner part of a giant torus. Even when you look at the way the planets align, like we had at the beginning here, they are all pictured in rings. You know, the way everything goes, the way everything is spinning is like a torus in a toroidal movement, and the toroidal spinning. It's the way sort of like spinning in on itself, down through itself. And from what I have been working with, it's just enhanced certain things that I've already sort of experienced earlier in life, and have been picturing and feeling most of my life. And when we have our physical bodies, we're basically having a 6 to 8 foot area around our bodies that have a huge toroidal space around us, and it's about 6 to 8 feet around our physical body, and it's spinning like a giant torus, like a giant spindle torus, like we see here. But it's what's inside of it is a bunch of nested smaller torus that is forming a giant big one, like you see here. And this is what our auric layers, our spiritual layers, or whatever you want to call it, our energetic bodies. This is what it's comprised of, or composed of, or made of. It's like a nest of torus, spinning torus that's forming a bigger toroidal movement. And when we have the huge planetary system spinning like a huge torus, it's almost like folding over on top of itself, and communicating with each planet in that way with its torus. It's spinning torus, almost like a spinning torus coming and touching and folding over on top, like one facing the other, above and below, and they're spinning, renewing in each other, and a river of light is dripping, like you see here at the bottom, in between toruses. So if imagine one is like right here, one is another one is above it, facing it, looking down, like the holes are looking into each other, and it's like a river of light. Call it even DMT, higher dimensional information, is dripping down. And imagine it dripping down into the funnel and coming down into the torus beneath it. And this is how we are receiving higher dimensional knowledge. It's like a sacred river of light that is being funneled through other torus shape, sort of toroidal movement, whatever you want to call it, technology, however you want to do it. And our matrix exists in one of these toroidal spheres. It's you know, and it's also like a bunch of tetrahedrons that are inside of itself. Even our cells, the way it's all broken down inside, is truly remarkable when you start going down the rabbit hole. But for today, I wanted to talk about how we are receiving a river of higher dimensional knowledge through this way. And the more that we realize this, and the more that we work with this, the more it activates within us. And the more you activate your sensory centers and your pineal gland, and your the top of your spine, the bottom of your spine, your pineal gland, and all these major points of your sort of your whole system starts to receive this drip of knowledge, until it could flood your whole body with it if it's completely open to it and working with it. And we have these beings that are gold in nature, if you want to call it a drip of knowledge that is coming down, and it's highly golden in nature, radiating golden light. And you could call them gold beings, gold entities, gold knowledge. But since the late 80s, 1987 and on, they have been coming in an abundance to this planet and communicating with us in abundance. And many of us out there are meant to receive this knowledge and awaken this knowledge. And the reason why some of us are drawn to this knowledge is because we're supposed to be receiving it. And a lot of us are only just at the beginning of becoming awake. They know it's a possibility, and it's like they know it's there. They haven't opened up that funnel, that stream yet. And a lot of it has to do with what I believe is DMT. It's encased, it's clothed within the DMT. The DMT is a higher dimensional living liquid that is being funneled down this way. And this is the way we receive prophecy. And this is the way we receive higher dimensional knowledge. All of prophecy, I believe that we're reading, that's true prophecy from the ancients, even with the book of Revelation. It was received through one of these DMT experiences where they're receiving a river of light of information coming down from a higher force, a higher spiritual coordinate that's associated with these Toruses, and how they move and how they work. And our whole auric and spiritual layer, I envision it as a nest of these. And you have some that are like dark, spinning black holes that are negative energy from certain things that are incorporated with who you are and what you've picked up, but they're always renewing themselves and replenishing itself. So for you guys today, I wanted to share a very interesting thing, a very interesting piece of information that I've experienced that can help you connect to this river flow. Imagine that you have a spinning torus like you see here, spinning around from the bottom of your feet, around your spinal cord, all the way up to your brain stem. And from there, it shoots rays of light to the little grain of rice that's your pineal gland. Just beams of light after it hits the bottom of your spinal cord, where the Hebrews would call the Lutz bone is. So imagine a spinning torus movement that's coming down from your feet, around your spinal cord, all the way up, spinning until it hits the bottom of your brainstem, and then it shoots these ray of lights, awakening your pineal gland. And when it hits your pineal gland, it goes around your brain, your cranium, until you breathe in yourself, and you breathe in that light within yourself, and then it anchors to above you, and you start this flow of a tunnel flow that comes from above, and it starts to drip down this higher dimensional light. And it's a slow drip at first until you open it up completely. And this is what we have spinning around us. And imagine that wrapping around your spinal cord and communicating with you this way. And there are gold type beings that come in like showery, almost like a rain upon you of gold light during these experiences. And people have these same sort of things when they have a DMT or near-death experience, and people all over the world right now are starting to have contact and starting to feel these forces and feel the other world is pulling you. Otherworldly knowledge is just pulling you. And this is what's happening here. And this is what's this is a part of our technology. And today, not only that, but we could basically share. I have a little steps that you could take that I have written down in here to they call it to your occipital cavity back there, that is right at the bottom of your head, at the back of your head. It's right underneath your occipital cavity, and that area right there. Even if you take your thumb and sort of go in like a clockwise motion, separate your hair back there, and sort of take your thumb and press it against there and move it in a clockwise motion a little bit, you start to activate and open that area up to receive that flow from above and from below. And this it's sort of like you're opening up a doorway to a higher dimensional cave, and at the end of the cave is that seed of light. That's your pineal gland. It's just a small little dot at first until it becomes overwhelming light and it floods you. You know, that's sort of like how you got to envision it. And basically, there's a whole. We're gonna do more of these chats because I don't want to give you too much in one day. But there's a whole sort of headset that you can sort of, a spiritual headset that you could put on that could sort of spark your this knowledge and this flow. And for right now, I do think that you guys should all practice that if you want. I mean, it's up to you guys, but that sort of way. Think about too, when you have this funneling torus from your feet all the way up to around your spine, all the way up. Imagine that there's a torus all the way above you too, that it's connected to, and almost like arms can reach down that funnel in the middle, the toroidal space in the middle. It can reach down like there's arms in there, like spiritual arms even, or something that you can imagine, that can reach down between that hole and pull all the negative thoughts and negative energy and negative feelings, all of that. It just pulls it out and renews it in on itself. Because the way they spin, it's always renewing it. Imagine you have a swirling vortex, sort of like, so imagine like you have like a tube in the water, right? And this tube is spinning clockwise on the inside, and it's always renewing and spinning on itself, collapsing in on itself and renewing and regenerating. You know, it's like renewing and funneling and collapsing in on itself. And this is what you have all around you, nested all around you. And I have been working with my tensor rings and setting up my tensor rings in the same way that these torus shapes are, like you see here. And sometimes with many rings, sometimes, and these are the same way the planets are wrapped around the sun. You know, the same way it revolves around, the way it moves, right? And you could see in the middle here, look inside the crystal ball here, actual donut shape toroidal pictures of the of starting from a ball, and more. You could see bigger donuts being wrapped around. It's picking up on the toroidal movement of everything. It's truly amazing what's right here, because it's not even picking up the rings above it. It's making like its own. It's showing almost the spin of it, the way everything's going. I thought that was an amazing picture, and I've been doing work with these tensor rings for a few years now, and I'm getting more advanced as we go along. Eventually, we will be putting beads along these rings, like planets, but they're spherical amplifiers. You know, this is what Tesla was working with. And this is what the call of God, I believe, is, where they're harmonic frequencies that change your body on a cellular level and can heal you, you know, or, you know, there's frequencies that can hurt you, like what we're getting bombarded with every day all around us. And it's time for us to start using healing frequencies and basically healing and bringing up to our higher dimensional origins that we're supposed to be at. And let me read them. Just reading the chat room because I hadn't seen it the whole time. Yeah. I mean, it's really amazing information. And I do think that there was higher knowledge on this planet that had literal headsets that were connected around us and connected to cosmic forces and cosmic alignments. And, you know, I'm going to share something with you guys that I haven't really ever talked about on my radio shows before. And there are stone chambers all over the Hudson Valley, all over Connecticut, Massachusetts, New England, the whole New England area, Maine. And these are stone chambers that go underneath the ground. And when I was like 17, me and my friend Francis Miller, he passed away now actually. But he met this kid that was, I think the kid was going to SUNY Purchase at the time, which is like an art school, sort of like a pretty good art school in Westchester, right? A lot of different, very different creative people end up going to this school, right? And he met this guy there when he was there, and we ended up hanging out with him for the day. They came and picked me up, and his mom's property was in Carmel, New York. And on that property, they had there's a stone chamber that we walked to. I mean, it was far in. It felt like we walked like almost a mile. It was like many, many acres we walked in. And I don't know if it was on the border of someone else's property or it was on his mom's property, but we had to walk from his mom's property out into the woods. You know, I don't know exactly who owned it out there, but we walked far into the woods until there was this sort of, it looked like a stone hut that was built into the hillside there in the middle of the woods where there's a hill, you know, hilly area. There's a hill here and there's a higher hill over it. And like with the leaves and everything, you wouldn't even know it was there. It was kind of covered up with shrubbery and leaves. And when you go inside of it, you could stand in there where it's high enough. But to get in there, you got to get on your belly or your back and pull your way in. It's only like a 2 or 3 foot, maybe like a 2.5 foot entrance to the chamber. But once you get in there, you crawl in there. You could walk in there. It's pretty. It's high enough. It's like 6 to 7, 8 feet high, maybe up in there. You know, it's almost it's rock walled. You know, like not cemented or anything, but the inside is it's sort of like a chamber made out of rock piles, and above you is the ground. Like you crawl in there and you're sort of built into the ground, into the hillside. So like domed above you is still the ground. So it's almost like you're underground in a way, you know. And it's a stone chamber, and it's a sound chamber. When you bang, you take a piece of metal and you hit the rock on the floor in the entrance, it rings like a bell. It rings like it's hollow as well. And it's only on the one rock as you enter in there. There's one little entrance stone right on the entrance that when you first get in there and you turn around, you could bang. If you have a metal pipe, you could bang on it. We didn't have a big metal pipe, but the guy had a piece of metal thing on his keychain, and he bit like a little bar thing on his keychain, and he banged it to show us, right? And his name was Jeremy. I don't know if his last name was Kent or Kencher. Kent, I can't remember quite his last name, but it was Jeremy. And this was like 1995, something like that, right? So I was just about to graduate high school. I was my senior year. And we were in there only a minute. We went in there to go check it out and smoke a bowl in there, right? We went to go smoke, right? So it was one of those old metal bowls too, right? So we were packing the bowl, and as we're packing it, sort of like a 3-foot radius. It wasn't even like a sphere. It was just like a presence of light came through the chamber past us. Like we were standing in like sort of like a 3-man circle, right? And it's sort of like just a flow of light came by us and made its way out of the entrance of the chamber. So, you know, we got spooked and we crawled out of there immediately. And as soon as we got to our feet, we looked up on top of the hill, and there was a person standing in a cloak or robe up there. And the hood on top, the hoodie, had just a black void inside. You couldn't see any face inside. It was so dark inside of there that it was just a black void. And this was autumn, you know, and it was like late afternoon sort of time. So it was still a little sunny out, but it was just like a black void in the hood. And to get up the hill, it's like a little bit of a hill, but as you start to walk up, you lose sight of who's standing there for a little second as you're walking up the hill. So as soon as we saw this person, we went to go walk towards it. And by the time we walked up, the 1 second that it's out of your view sight, by the time it was in the view sight, it was gone. it had disappeared. Now we thought the kid Jeremy at the time was fucking with us, like it was like somebody that lived around. Was like, we thought it was somebody from the area, somebody in the woods that he was playing. They were playing a joke on us. But you know, at that time in 1995, I was into spiritual stuff. I was into like paranormal and all that stuff, but I wasn't working with like harmonic frequencies and plasmic orbs and thinking about them in different ways, and how this can be some sort of even ancient protector maybe of the stone chamber. At that time, they were called root cellars. They weren't even called stone chambers. Now people call them stone chambers connected to the Druids, possibly ancient prehistoric sites. But at this time, they were saying the settlers made these for stone for root cellars, like that they were more of a modern construction within the last couple of hundred years from the settlers that came over here in the 1700s and everything, that it was something from that. But no, these are prehistoric. People don't know how old these stone chambers are, and they seem to be associated with sound and plasmic technology that gets activated through that, crossing the threshold, crossing that stone that rings like a hollow bell, even that somehow the sound echoes through dimensions, or it's some sort of activation. And you know, because we were smoking weed at the time and we were younger, and we thought the guy was messing with us at first. I never really talk about it because people could just all say they were kids that were high. They were, you know, they just saw some guy in the woods. But the more, you know, I thought about it, and the more I started to research it, I realized people in the Hudson Valley have been having these experiences for hundreds of years, in fact. And it's been reported that other people have seen cloaked beings associated with these stone chambers, and sometimes they would be even carrying a sphere or globe of light. When I read these accounts, it blew my mind. I saw even a documentary in like 2002 or 3 that talked about legends of Hudson Valley that even had similar experiences that I've had, you know. So it's known, and all of these stone chambers that I've researched, and for those that are here on my Patreon, you guys have seen it. I posted recently a map with a legend that shows where these stone chambers are. There's hundreds of them all over New England. Almost all of them so far have been researched and are built on magnetic anomalies. Almost all of them. So that's not by mistake. You know, that's not by mistake in any sort of way. Hopefully you guys that I just added was able to hear me this whole time. I noticed I had to add you guys for some reason. But yeah, this yeah, weed doesn't make people hallucinate. You're right, Emily. You know, I mean, some people can have panic attacks and stuff like that, but it wasn't even like we were even stoned yet. We had just packed the bowl, sort of, and this light came through. Like, we didn't even get to spend any time in there at all, you know. And we got spooked from the light. We were like, because that wasn't sun. It wasn't sunlight, and that was pretty much understood. And it was like, you know, something made us get out of there really quick. Even the energy that came along with the light seemed to be a warning, almost. You know, like it was almost like on a collective level, the three of us, without speaking, knew to get out of there. Right? It was almost like a knowing that was flooded. So with that light came codes, came information that was, you know, interfacing with my biosphere, my Torus. You know, that's how you have to think of things. And when you start to think of it this way, you start to interface with it better. You know, so that's one of the main things I wanted to share with you guys privately, that I don't really share with people about, you know, the way everything works. And it's like a battery, you know, the positive and negative vortex with the torus connecting to the other torus. It's toroidal space, and depending on the spin, how fast the spin is, what type of shape the Torus is, it has a different characteristics and different purpose throughout us, and they're all over, nested, forming one giant one, spinning around us. And like I said, some of them are dark black holes. There's people sometimes when I've met them, and I kind of got a feeling of their aura, and I even got to see get visuals of their auric energy. I've seen hundreds of swirling black holes, just like they look like they're bottomless pits, swirling vortexes, just black empty holes swirling around them. And I've come to realize that a lot of these people that I've seen this on are people that take a lot of hallucinogens or acid and drugs in general. They seem to open up spiritual doorways that never get closed, open rabbit holes that have no purpose or meaning, and it seems that they're related to drug use. And I've witnessed this on myself and other people, and I do think it's all related to the Torus technology that's associated with who we are. So that's definitely what I wanted to talk to you guys about today and lay on you guys. And there's actually, you know what? Each one of you, let me write down your names too, so I don't mess up. So I'm more on the target with this. I'll write down each one of your names because I have something that I wanted to send to you guys, that I have a list here. It's sort of like a process that you can take, an imagery session with the breathing and everything. It's kind of hard to explain it like this, without being like face to face and everything. So when you have a written breakdown, it might be easier for you guys. I have a little written breakdown of what to do, a little process, and you guys can use these steps for making your own process, and what works best for you. Take my little springboard and make your own steps from it, but sort of incorporate the whole idea. You can use that sort of idea as a platform, because imagine, like I've said this before, imagine for you to receive higher dimensional knowledge, there has to be a docking station for that experience. There has to be a platform for your physical body to absorb that information. So your pineal gland and certain energy centers are the docking station for your higher self to communicate with you. And it's working through this Torus technology. And, I've been having various and I have new products too that I've been working with that are associated with the Torus technology. Of course, you guys have seen the harmonizers. I have bigger sizes and smaller sizes, but also to even tap in to the Torus technology, you can use the one that goes right around your head, and it goes around those energy centers right here as well. And you can actually sit and meditate with one of these coppers right around you. And this actually is built to even fit around your electricity meter if you wanted it to. But when you get all different rings, and I will have a package deal available today and tomorrow, that will have about 5 or 6 rings in the middle. So you are actually tapping into the toroidal movement of the planetary bodies and how they're connected to you, and I've been having sessions where I put all different rings inside rings, and each one of them is a different shape, and one of the most powerful ones is the one that is made to fit even around the water, and all of these can be used as pendants as well, around the water bottles. This is the water ring. It's made to fit right around your water bottle. And these cleanse your water as well. And it's using the Torus technology to spin in on itself and pull the negative energy out and replenish it with new energy. And this is exactly what we have in our bodies and in the planet. you know, and we have all different rings, and they can be all used as pendants as well. And any of my patrons that want to order one, just let me know, and I will include an extra tensor ring for you guys. See, I got all different rings down to the smallest now that I've been putting in rings inside rings. And the more I've been working with this Torus technology, the more information has been coming to me about how it's connected to everything within space and who we are. And so I want to thank you guys for joining us today and joining this session. We're going to try to do this at least once a week. Once I get, me and my family are about to move soon. We've been kind of living in a cramped space for the last year or so, and it's been really, really rough on us. But once I get our apartment and we're in our space set up, there will be no problems with live streams anymore. Because right now we're living all in the same room. I got the baby sleeping with us in the bed and everything. So right now it's sometimes it's a little rough, but we're getting out of here very, very soon. The minute we get our own place, we'll be able to have set times every week, a couple times a week, where I'll be doing this full time. You know, on my Patreon, my radio, my everything. We'll have a real better and set schedule to be working together, because the time is now. I've been getting a lot of feelings and information coming to me that the next couple of years is going to be the biggest event of our lives. And the time is now for us to unite. They specifically want us out of each other's biofields. They want us 6 to 8 feet apart so we cannot connect to each other's Torus technology. This is exactly what's happening. They want us out of each other's toroidal space. Exactly what they want is us away from each other. They do not want a collective oneness, a collective consciousness, sharing information, sharing energy, and sharing communication and higher dimensional knowledge. And they are tying off the drip of that river of light that I discussed earlier in this session. So thank you everybody for joining us today. I love you guys all. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. And if you guys, any of you want a tensor tool, let me know today and I will hook you up with extra stuff. Much love, guys. Love you all.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you,
Anytime, brother. Love you guys.